Swiss Tech. Storm Shield weather with Dustin Bonk. This is Fox 47 News at 10.
The questions of how much the hurricane cleanup is going to cost and where the money will come from, those are major topics tonight on Capitol Hill. Mike Emanuel has the latest.
The devastation after Hurricanes Harvey and Irma suggests cleanup and rebuilding will be massive and expensive. Congress authorized and President Trump signed $15.25 billion in hurricane relief last week. But all expect that is just the first installment of taxpayer money to help storm victims rebuild. More than 708,000 Texans have already applied for FEMA assistance, and Floridians will soon do the same.
This is a big-hearted country, and we're going to cover these emergencies as we have in the past. Obviously, these are bigger than we are customarily dealing with, but we will take care of it.
Any offsets down the road?
We'll take care of it.
On paying for hurricane relief, what are known as offsets, the Senate Democratic leader rejected that idea.
We've had a tradition in America when it comes to disaster that one part of the country is hurt and the rest of the country steps up and aids them.
Yet the nation's debt has ballooned from $5 trillion in 1996 to $10 trillion in 2008 to $20 trillion now.
The greatest threat to our nation is we ourselves. It's our inability to deal with the fiscal issues that we as a nation have.
Even though Harvey trashed southeastern Texas, 4 of its House members voted no on the legislation. Republicans Joe Barton, Jeb Hensarling, Sam Johnson, and Mac Thornberry.
The debt ceiling is an awkward, blunt tool, but it should be something more than a speed bump on the road to national bankruptcy. That should have been a separate vote.
A Fox News comparison of gross debt as a percentage of GDP reveals the U.S. comes in 4th behind Japan, Greece, and Italy. The House Republican Study Committee consists of 155 members. Its chairman says with Republicans leading the White House and Congress, it's time to address these serious financial issues.
We have been asking for several months that there be some kind of reforms attached to the debt ceiling. Those requests were not met or were not heard, but we're not giving up.
That was Mike Emanuel reporting. Texas Governor Greg Abbott declared today Hand in Hand Day in Texas. This as celebrities came together to help raise money for those affected by Hurricane Harvey. During a live telethon, the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation pledged to match every dollar raised up to $10 million. Several country music stars and Texas governor were at the Majestic Theater in San Antonio this afternoon talking about the importance of coming together to help all of those affected.
Hopefully the people that we get to call in tonight during this telethon and throughout the evening, we hope to raise many millions of dollars, and with the Dells and matching the 10 million, that's incredible too. So we'll see what happens. You know, I got high hopes.
The telethon aired right here on Fox 47 tonight. Strait says the need to rebuild Texas will go on for years, and he intends to be there for every step. A Florida school named for a Confederate general caught fire this evening. This was the scene at the Robert E. Lee Elementary School in Tampa just after 7 o'clock tonight. Huge flames were shooting from the roof of the school, and a plume of black smoke could be seen from some distance. Tampa Fire and Rescue said it was a 2-alarm fire. There's no word of any injuries, no information about how the fire started. Seattle Mayor Ed Murray is stepping down. He released a statement today announcing his resignation effective tomorrow. The resignation follows new allegations of sexual abuse by a man claiming to be Murray's cousin. A total of 5 different men have now come forward with allegations. In his statement, Murray denies all the allegations. He announced in May he wouldn't seek a second term. More information released about an active shooter alert inside the state's largest hospital this afternoon. New Hampshire's Attorney General Gordon MacDonald says 49-year-old Travis Frank was arrested after shooting his mother, who was a patient in the intensive care unit. MacDonald says Frank went to the hospital specifically to kill her. Frank will be arraigned tomorrow on first-degree murder charges. The Trump administration has scored another win for its travel ban. The Supreme Court decided to block a federal court decision that would have allowed thousands of additional refugees to enter the United States. For now, the administration can broadly implement a ban on refugees from entering 6 mostly Muslim countries, including Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. The justices are scheduled to hear arguments on the constitutionality of the temporary travel ban next month. The Justice Department announced today it would not bring charges against 6 officers involved in the arrest and death of Freddie Gray. Cell phone video of Gray handcuffed and dragged into a police transport van went viral, sparking days of unrest in Baltimore. Gray died of a broken neck suffered while riding unrestrained in the police van. 3 of the officers were acquitted at state trials, and Baltimore's state attorney later dropped the remaining cases. Well, if you have a plan to get a tattoo anytime soon, naturally, at least I would hope, you would do a little bit of research. Coming up tonight in your health headlines, well, you may want to ask about additives used in ink. But first, Fox Means Business.
Why you may never face a problem forgetting the passcode to your new iPhone. I'm David Asman with the Fox Business Network. More coming up.
You're watching Fox 47 News at 10.
Apple makes a historic announcement and job growth is breaking records. David Asman has a look in tonight's Fox Means Business report.
A big raise for American families. Median household income rising to a record high of more than $59,000 in 2016. That's a jump of more than 3% from the previous year. And good news for folks looking for work. The government saying there were 6.2 million job openings in July. That, too, is a record. Speaking of records, it was another historic day for stocks on Tuesday. The Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500 all closing at all-time highs. Apple unveiling a bunch of new products on Tuesday. Besides the iPhone 8, the 8 Plus, a new watch, and a new TV, the company also introducing the iPhone 10. Now, the 10 has no home button feature and uses facial ID to unlock the phone. It's going to cost you around $1,000. But you may want to hit decline the next time your phone rings. That's because August was the busiest month ever for robocalls. According to YouMail, Americans received nearly 3 billion calls last month, shattering the previous record. Please don't leave a message for me at the sound of a beep. That's a look at business. I'm David Asman.
All right, tonight's pump patrol price $2.45 at the Clark Station on Round Lake Road in Langsburg. We're always looking for the least expensive gas prices in mid-Michigan. If you see them, give us a call, 484-8847, and we will put it on TV. Many women now have a choice when it comes to cervical cancer screenings. The U.S. Preventative Services Task Force is recommending Pap tests once every 3 years for women ages 21 through 29. But after age 30, the Pap and HPV tests are both effective for cervical cancer screenings. This means women who are ages 30 to 65 can choose between the Pap test every 3 years or an HPV test every 5 years. Women who are at high risk for cervical cancer should be screened more often. New study sheds light on which practice drills may be a little too risky for football players. Researchers at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center measured the head impacts of 9 players during one season of practice. They suffered the largest number of blows during contract drills with multiple players, but the hardest hits happened during open field tackling drills. Experts say these findings could help high school coaches decide which drills should be changed or completely eliminated. Experts say you may need to get your kids some help if the effects of recent devastating weather events. And while you check that tattoo parlor, you may want to look into the ink they use as well. Lauren Green has these stories and more in tonight's health report.
Children may need more time coping with hurricane aftermath than adults. Experts at the Child Trends organization say compared to adults, children suffer more from exposure to disasters both physically, psychologically, and behaviorally. Even kids who hear about or see images of them can feel its effects. Their advice is to create an environment that covers your child's basic needs. Keep regular schedules and keep them busy, as boredom can worsen negative thoughts and behaviors. Thousands of Americans end up in hospital emergency rooms each year with problems that could have been avoided. A study in the International Journal for Quality Healthcare describes how researchers reviewed data on more than 400 million ER visits, discovering the top causes for preventable visits include alcohol abuse, dental problems, and mental health disorders. They suggest these visits could be reduced if patients had better access to services that address these issues where they live. And finally, microparticles from tattoo inks travel through your body and into your lymph nodes. A study in the journal Scientific Reports is the first to show how a variety of organic and inorganic pigments go beyond the tattooed tissue and into your system. The team suggests people getting tattoos may not only want to check out their establishment for sterile conditions, but they may also want to ask about the additives used in the ink to reduce their exposure to certain chemicals. With your health, I'm Lauren Green, Fox News.
Emotional testimony in a Capitol hearing room today where there's a debate about whether an unborn fetus should have the same rights of a victim if it's heard. It's a debate that is now pitting right to life against abortion rights. The story after the break.
Irma starting to die out, pretty much already there, but we're still feeling the effects. Some of those rain bands working into lower Michigan. I'll tell you what to expect for your Wednesday rainy forecast coming up.
You're watching Fox 47 News at 10.
Some homeowners in Meridian Township will be getting an extra layer of protection for their homes thanks to a grant from the Department of Homeland Security. The Meridian Township Fire Department received $66,000 to purchase and install 2,500 combination smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. The department hasn't gotten the alarms just yet. Officials tell us they'll release more details on how people can get them soon. The state capitol today serving as a drop-off center for unwanted prescription pills. The Michigan Pharmacists Association held its annual medication disposal event aimed at fighting the opioid epidemic in mid-Michigan. According to the CDC, opioids killed 2,000 people throughout the state in 2015. About 1 of every 4 people who abuse opioids get them from a friend or relative. Nearly 2 tons of unwanted medications have been collected and disposed of since the event started 7 years ago. For years, people have been charged in the death of unborn babies, but those convicted haven't always been sentenced for crimes committed against the fetus. Fox 47's Jen Tilneal explains how a bill in the State House will change the way criminals are sentenced in those situations.
If you assault a woman and her unborn child, you could be convicted of 2 crimes but not necessarily serve time for 2 victims. That's because Michigan's sentencing guidelines leaves the word victim to a wide interpretation. For Edward Rivett with the Right to Life Michigan, he agrees and says this new bill would allow sentencing to parallel with what the conviction was for.
Obviously, the more serious the crime, the more serious the sentencing. Okay. And so what this law is saying is that if it's a very, if there is serious harm or, to the unborn child or death to the unborn child, you're going to get the same type of penalty as if you or I were the victim of that crime at that level.
This bill would clarify that an embryo and fetus must be counted as a victim when determining the number of victims for sentencing guidelines. Right now, that is not the case.
Well, this is a very simple, straightforward bill, and really they've been able to be charged for 2 victims for almost 20 years, but the sentencing part was never cleared up.
And although most legislators believe there are beneficial parts to this bill, there are some aspects that they have concerns about.
It would require that in the case of any crime, including that committed by the pregnant woman, that a court would have to sentence the woman to a higher sentence if her embryo or fetus were endangered, even if the pregnant mother didn't know she was pregnant.
He also questions how this bill would apply to a pregnant woman who tries to commit suicide. In Lansing, Jen Tilneal, Fox 47 News.